We just lost to it, let's play it. It's Mad Party on PTCG. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to take a look at Mad Party. We lost to it playing Charizard VMAX, so let's get behind the wheel and play it ourselves. I know there's been decks featured on other channels that are in this weird in-between format. People are playing with Mysterious Treasure. I know there's some wheezing stuff floating around as well, so if you're interested in seeing a kind of post-rotation version of this list, then this is the place for you to be. Glad that you've come along, I appreciate it. Before we take a look at the deck that we've got for you today, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Click the button that is in the subscribe area. You know what the subscribe button is. Why am I telling you where? Just whatever. Next to it there's a like button. Like it. You can come to my birthday party, I guess. Anyway, we'll move into the list on PTCGO and show you how this one is going to work. Mad Party has a lot of cool stuff going on right now. This post-rotation list is no different. Let's take a look at the king of the Mad Party. It is Polteageist. I think this is the best one. I think we can all agree that this is the best Polteageist that we've seen so far, and the best Mad Party Pokemon, because T-Break is such a good ability. Even though this Pokemon only has 60 HP and is a Stage 1, T-Break gives us the ability to draw extra cards, which is so important. If we discard our Mad Party Pokemon, we can discard that, draw 2 cards, and get ourselves into some extra pieces. I really like this Pokemon. I think that it's pretty solid. Mad Party, obviously, the attack of this deck, 20 times the amount of Mad Party Pokemon that you have in the discard pile, and we've got plenty of them. We've got Polteageist in a 4 count. We also have Mr. Rime. This obviously won't get into play, so it's not a big deal. Mad Party, just the attack there. We can't start this. It's just a Pokemon to put in the bin. Chuck that one away. We've got Dedenne as well. Mad Party down here. This is a basic, which is annoying, and we can't really attack with it. That's a bit disappointing. We've also got Bunnelby with Mad Party as well. So 4 copies of each of those leads us to a position where we've got 16 Mad Partiers in total. Now, we need to be attacking with one of them, so 15 is the maximum you can ever have in the discard pile. So you are never going to one-shot a VMAX or anything like that, but you have the attacks to consistently put pressure on to stop your opponent winning the game. So Polteageist and Bunnelby are going to be the 2 that we attack with. We'll get the rest into the bin. The key is, as long as we can 2-hit everything, we should be fine, right? We can probably manage that with our Mad Partiers. The rest of the Pokemon on the list are pretty interesting as well. They're all about making sure that the list sets up reasonably well. We've got Marshadow here. Resetting Hole is obviously a pretty solid option. You want to get rid of pesky stadiums that are helping your opponent out. I know there are a couple that are a bit of a pain. Black Market, for one, is a little bit frustrating, so we've got the option here. We don't play any stadiums of our own. We don't really have the space to do it, so we don't want to leave our opponent utilizing their own stadium for the entire game. Marshadow will get us a bit of breathing space if that does come up. Black Market is definitely a bit of a frustration. We also have Oranguru with Primate Wisdom. We don't always want to have the cards that are in our hand. We sometimes need to save special energy. We've got Twin and Triple Colorless in this list, and we need to use pretty much all of them, so we don't want them to get burnt up by the DNA or Professor's Research. Primate Wisdom can save them for later, or we can put down a supporter or something like that, so that if we get manied, our opponent is unfortunately going to be out of luck. We'll give ourselves plenty of opportunities to draw more cards. Oranguru, really, really strong. We've also got Mew in this list. This is probably the most important support Pokemon in the deck. Bench Barrier, very important at the moment. Salamence VMAX is floating around, and I don't know if you've noticed, but Bunnelby has 40 HP, Sinistea has 30 HP, Polteageist has 60 HP. It is not a particularly high HP deck, this one. We are expecting all of our Pokemon to get knocked out pretty much in their first turn on the board. So Mew stops that from happening to our benched Pokemon. They're going to need to bring them into the active to take knockouts on them. We just don't want these Bunnelbys getting knocked out by Salamence. That would be horrible. We also have the new Crobat V in its full art glory. 1 copy of this, as well as 2 copies of Dedenne-GX to be able to draw extra cards. Dedenne is discard draw, and Crobat is draw up to 6. Both of them work in tangent with each other. Is that the word that I'm looking for? They work nicely together, I guess you could say, because you can play both of them in the same turn if you'd like. You can play a Dedenne, then a Crobat, and that can potentially get a whole bunch of Mad Partiers into the bin so that you can do big damage as soon as possible. Now, you might ask, is this any better than the old Night March? Probably not better than Night March. It's doing the same amount of damage, but everything has 150 more HP, which is a bit concerning, but it's not that big of a deal. I think the really important thing to remember with this, though, is that this deck is way better than Lost March. It is so much better than Lost March. It's so easy to get damage done with this deck that I think that it's definitely got a place in the meta, no matter how good it is. It's not going to be tier 1 for any stretch, but it's definitely going to be good enough to contend at some point. We've got lots of Pokemon search in the deck as well. We've got Quick Ball, Great Ball, and also Evolution Incense to help us find ourselves all of the Pokemon that we need. We want to find those Sinistea and Bunnelby quickly. We want to get access to Polteageists as well, so Evo Incense can do that. I'm stumbling over my words again. But also, Evo Incense, when you've got a Polteageist down, can also be 2 free cards. Remember that, you get to find the Galarian Mr. Rime as well. And if you're looking to discard Pokemon, there's plenty of opportunities for you to do that. We've got Great Catcher, which can potentially gust out a Dedenne on the bench. You only need to have 8 Pokemon in the discard pile for this card, for this Dedenne to get knocked out. So Great Catcher gets you 1/4 of a way there, potentially, depending of course on whether or not there's something in your hand to discard. We also have 1 copy of Air Balloon. This is a pretty good card. We can stick it on top of an Oranguru or a Dedenne or something like that, just to give you a free retreat option. We also have 1 Switch. It could be a toss-up as to whether or not you want to call that a scoop-up net, because you start Dedenne, that can be a little bit awkward, but, you know, in starting Dedenne-GX, you're going to be in a bit of trouble as well. So, Switch is a pretty solid card. Most of the time, though, we're not going to need it. Pokemon that are in the active are going to get knocked out and then go into the discard pile anyway. That's going to be, you know, one of the things that this deck does. Roxie is another way to discard a couple of cards. If you want to discard 2 Pokemon with Roxie, draw 6 cards, that's pretty good. 2 Pokemon that have Mad Party in their name give you 40 extra damage, so we may as well play that. Now, we're not playing the Weezing in this deck. I don't think it's really required. You could potentially fit a couple in if you wanted. There are potentially some slots, but I kind of like this as a base starting point, so for the moment, not really too interested in having that, though it is worth considering. Although, in saying that, is it even standard? I don't know. It's probably not standard. Whatever, doesn't matter. You can discard Pokemon with research as well, and then we have 3 copies of Boss's Orders, because we really do want to take knockouts on specific targets when we can. We don't want to just be hitting into anything and hoping for the best. We need to win the game by attacking maybe 4 or 5 times, so we want to make sure that they're all useful attacks. Added in with the Great Catcher, that's 4 gust options. Now, I mentioned before we have energy in special form. We've got 4 twin and 3 triple XL. These are the only energies that we should need. If we haven't won the game after 7 attacks, then we'll be in a bit of trouble. We can't get those energies back with Ordinary Rod only Pokemon in this list, but it is important if you desperately need a Mew. You don't want Salamence knocking out a Mew and then you having absolutely no recourse to deal with all that spread damage, so definitely worth considering. I really like this list for post-rotation Mad Party. I think it's pretty good. Whether or not it is good enough to take on the big boys is up for debate, but hey, beat us the other day playing Charizard, so it's definitely solid. We'll take it out onto the ladder now and see exactly how it's going to work. Here we go into our game. I'm always sad now. It says win streak 0 every single time. How disappointing. That's what I get for testing all sorts of random stuff. Chow Chow's calling the coin flip here. Now, we really want to go first if we can. That would be great, because we want to evolve our Polteageists nice and quickly. We have won the coin flip, which is great, so we'll go first. We don't really want to start with this Mew, frankly, but we're going to have to. We want to get something like a Polteageist or a Bunnelby into play quickly so that we can attack with them. We've got a Twin Energy, we've got Evo Incense and Great Ball here, so I'm thinking we're going to play 1 or 2 of those. I play the Incense for... Oh, actually, that's probably bad. I probably should play Great Ball because we've got options a bit better. We'll grab the Great Ball now. This is not ideal. We'll get the Oranguru, probably. I think the Oranguru is the most useful here. But yeah, no, if we had have played the Great Ball first, then we would have had more outs. We'll just put this Twin Energy on top. And that's going to be the way to go. And hopefully we get something. It's not ideal, but it's definitely not horrible. We've got a research for next turn. We can discard 3 Mr. Rimes, which is good. And it's also important to note that we are playing against a deck that doesn't actually exist. We're playing against Combo Zacian by the looks of it, with a Jirachi Prism Star, which obviously will rotate. They're using the Mawile GX there to take a look at our hand. There are no basic Pokemon in this hand, otherwise I'd have played them down. Alas, it was not to be for that Mawile, though they do know now that we have that draw supporter for next turn. They've just scooped up the Jirachi Prism, so with the Mr. Mime, that will be in the prizes. So we know at some point they're going to take 2. It's just a matter of when. They could potentially get it this turn. They're going for Dedenne. If they find, like, Metal Saucer and then Energy Switch. Oh, they have Metal Saucer, no Energy Switch though, so that's good. There's a Zacian. Yeah, they'll be looking for Metal Saucer, Energy Switch, and I feel like if they do that, then we're just like out of this game straight away. Although to be fair, does Wily Bite do enough? I think it does 70. No, it would do. I'm not sure. I can't remember. That's okay. We'll just let it play out. Whatever will be, will be. If they attack me, they attack me. If they don't, they don't. Professor's research from our opponent seems pretty good. They're not going to attack us, so it doesn't matter what Wily Bite does. And we begin our turn. Now we've got the Twin Energy again. I feel like putting it back on top is a good idea. If we do that, then we give ourselves a chance to find a Pokemon. Didn't get it, which is disappointing, but we've got 3 Mad Partiers in the bin, so that's pretty good. Oh my word, this is horrific. Why does this always happen with Special Energy? You always get like a massive handful of them. Now I can't Dedenne, because I can't afford to move this Twin Energy off. I'm going to have to just pass and hope for the best, but now my opponent can probably capitalize on this. If they gust and knock out this Sinistea, then I'm going to be very upset. Oh, skateboard. I'm going to have to start playing against people that are playing in this format, because it doesn't actually provide for that interesting gameplay. Like, I'm sitting here going, this is a matchup that never matters. Like, this never ever makes a difference. Why are we playing this matchup, I would say. That's okay, they're going for a research here. They've already manied, so they won't be able to draw again. You'd think, though, that they have got an energy. There it is. Okay, so they're going to put the Mawile into the active. This thing has a resistance to Psychic, which is really annoying, because that's where our energy is at the moment. We've got a Polteageist, which is good. We're going to need to use Evo Incense to get T-Break going. There's the 70 damage from the Mew, so if we hadn't played down the Sinistea, they wouldn't have been able to knock it out, but that's okay. Oh, a research. Okay, so this is good. What we'll do is we'll play down the Polteageist. We can get ourselves a Sinistea. We'll play this Evo Incense and grab the last Mr. Rime if we can. Oh, it's not in deck. And we've only got 2 of the Polteageists left. I feel like it's almost not worth grabbing it. We'll just put it back. We'll Primate Wisdom, move the Triple Excel onto the top of the deck, and then we will research. Oh, we've lost the boss. That's so disappointing, because we've only got 3 Pokemon in the discard pile, so the boss is barely worth playing. Hopefully we can find something, but alas, it was not to be. Okay, Quick Ball, probably get rid of a Sinistea and find like a Dedenne, and then we can at least T-Break here to draw a couple of extra cards. We have an attack next turn. I probably, now that I've put this Sinistea down, I don't know whether it's a good move or not. I probably didn't have to do that. If I had have kept it, I would have had an opportunity with Roxie next turn. Because, I mean, I'm only doing like 60 damage, so... Okay, this is fine. This is okay. That Sinistea probably should still be in my hand, because then I can Evo Incense for something and steal Roxie. I don't need to burn away a Pokemon. That was a bit of a misplay that could cost me here, and I've only half hit into a Mawile, which is really disappointing. But on the plus side, none of the other Pokemon on my opponent's side of the field have resistance, so even though they will take a knockout here, they can't get any more difficult than they already are, and they can't take the Jirachi Prism as a prize because they don't have the bench space, so that's pretty good. Oh, a Great Ball. This is actually fantastic. Let's see what we can find here. I'm thinking the Dedenne, not the Dedenne-GX, but the baby Dedenne, because then I can burn that away with Roxie. I can go for the Evo Incense, grab a Polteageist, which is good. I can play that down. I think I Roxie before I use T-Break, because I'm going to get 3 cards from the Dedenne, which gives me a better chance to find another one off of the Roxie. So let's do that. Hopefully we can find some Pokemon. That's not ideal, but we can Great Ball. So hopefully we find something. I've got the Dedenne. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. So we can burn the Dedenne with T-Break. Then we get a second Polteageist and the Dedenne. This is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7's 140. 140 is going to be enough to get a knockout. So I don't need to burn another Polteageist, which is good. I can just evolve that straight away. Then I can attach the Triple Excel to one of these Polteageists. The question is, though, do I Primate Wisdom something to the top? Because I don't really want a Dedenne here. I've got too many good resources. My Great Catcher, my last boss, and 2 energy. So it depends on what I think is going to be more useful. I think it's always better to just move the energy to the top. Because that way, even if I get Marnied, I can still at least attack, which would be good. And I've got access to Roxie next turn, which means I can draw some more. This is looking okay. I can live with this. We're about to get an attack off with Polteageist. We're going to take 2 prizes, which will level the prize trade up, which is great. And now we're in a position where, as long as we can stream attackers, I think we can probably get there. There's that last Mr. Rime that we wanted, and another Polteageist. This is actually perfect, because if our hand stays the same, we can Roxie and add 2 more of those Mad Parties to the discard pile, which is great, because we don't need those anymore. Polteageist we probably don't need. Mr. Rime we definitely don't need. So I'm feeling like we're in a really good spot. We might even potentially be able to get a knockout on Zacian this turn. We need 11 Mad Partiers in the discard pile. And there's 2 in our hand, so really we just need 9. We're going to have 1 from the Polteageist that gets knocked out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there was like 7 or 8 in there. 7? 7 was how many? I had 7, didn't I? Because it was 140. Yeah, 7. So I've got 7 in there. I'm going to lose 1. We're going to Roxie 2 more. So that means we just need to find 1 more Mad Partier and an energy, which is on top of the deck, to be able to get a knockout on this Zacian, which is actually really, really strong. I'm going to grab a Scoop Up Net to get that Mime back, and then a Marnie. No! All the best laid plans. Best laid plans. Okay, now we're going to have to really work for it. Okay, we've still got a Roxie. This is okay. It's not great, but it's possible. Got a Dedenne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus the extra 1. Knock us out. So we're gonna need to find 2 now. We're gonna need to find 2. But that's okay. We can definitely achieve it. It is achievable for sure. Because we've got Polteageist in play, we've got Roxies in hand. We can do this. It's possible. It's just a matter of doing it. And they've got 2 prizes left to take as well. So we're in a bit of strife if it doesn't work out. Oh, Crobat. Okay, we've got to attach the energy and then Crobat, alright? We've got to draw as many cards as possible. So let's attach. We'll Crobat. Hopefully we can find 2 Pokemon. We find 2 Pokemon. This is really good. We can Rox. Ooh, do we Roxie first or do we Quick Ball? I think we Quick Ball away a Roxie, find ourselves another Pokemon. I think it's just going to be like a Bunnelby, because we don't really need any more of those. If I'm going to win this game, I'm going to win it in the next 2 turns. Then I can Roxie, get rid of Bunnelby and the baby Dedenne. That will get me pretty close. Got 6 cards here. I probably don't need Polteageist. I think I've actually got the knockout here, now that I'm thinking about it. I've got pretty much everything that I need. It's just a matter of making sure that it's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be fine, because we can T-Break. Okay, we've got the double Bunnelby. We can Quick Ball one of these away. We're going to be able to take a knockout here. Just double checking. Let's see what they've used. They've got a lot of access to stuff. I think I'm going to put this Bunnelby down. Save that for later. I also want to put the Twin Energy on top of the deck again, just in case they do use Marnie. Because the last thing I want is for me to not be able to attack. That's going to be the hardest bit. So we'll all get to the Mr. Rime. That's beautiful. Okay, so I could probably Quick Ball that away. Although, yeah, no, that's fine. I can just Mad Party and take the knockout. This is okay. This is all right. This is all right. Because if I Quick Ball, then I don't have the energy. So I have to take the knockout. Waggling my finger. Waggling it around. Okay, so now our opponent wins if they get the Jirachi combo off again, or if they gust out the Crobat. But if they don't do that, we probably win. Because we've got Great Catcher in hand, 7 cards left in deck, One of them's a boss. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Very happy with this. Very, very happy. And that's the thing, right, with Mad Party, it's just so easy to get attackers consistently attacking. Like, we're doing a solid amount of damage. 220 is a big chunk. When you think about the fact that you only need to attack like this 2 or 3 times, beautiful. Now, it's obviously not going to be super consistent all the time, and you are going to play against ADP Zacians and things like that that can just take multiple prizes. There's always the opportunity our opponent can gust here, although they've just thrown away a great catcher and a boss, so the chances of them having any more is pretty slim. They got the Oranguru here. They could potentially attack with it if they've got like Energy Switch. If they've got Energy Switch on this Oranguru, they could potentially take a knockout on the Polteageist. But that's fine by me, because I mean, we just win if they do that, and that's not a problem. Grabs the Jirachi off of the Quick Ball. I wonder what it is that they're looking for here. Is there anything that they could possibly find that could cause me to lose this game? I don't think so. I don't think there is. Grabbing a research for next turn, we might see a pass here. Primate Wisdom, of course, they've got an extra card, so we'll see. Intrepid Sword. Alright, cool, no worries. So we win. So now the question is, how much damage can we do? Can we get any more damage? Let's see, because we're going to draw the DCE, the Twin Energy, sorry. We can T-Break or get rid of the Mr. Mime. Let's just draw some more cards. We'll Great Ball and see if there's any more Pokemon in the deck. I don't think there are. It's disappointing. Then we can just Great Catcher, get rid of the 2 Bunnelbys. Let's try and do that extra damage. It's really disappointing that we put that Bunnelby down, actually, because we could have got some more damage. There's the concession, though. Mad Party gets the win. Look at that. So Mad Party is 2 for 2 on the channel, even though we were only playing it once. It is really good. I like it. And the best thing about it is, this is the best thing, it is fun. This deck is a fun deck to play. It might not be the most powerful deck in the format. It might not be like S tier or anything like that, but it is fun. It's relatively budget. Like, it's not like budget, but it's relatively budget because there's only a couple of really expensive cards in it. I think this deck's got some legs, and we're going to see it floating around quite a lot because, like I said, it's just a good fun deck to play. Definitely worth considering if you're looking to wind down for some games on PTCGO. It's not like hyper competitive. It's just a good time. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along and joining us for this one. Hopefully you've liked it. If you do, then please consider subscribing. Click the button over the top of the Sableye right now. On the left-hand side of the screen, there are some videos that YouTube thinks you'll like, and on the right, we've got our playlist for more of our Darkness Ablaze deck profiles and gameplay, where you can see all of your post-rotation games and decks. Hopefully you enjoy it, and yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Bye.